Hi everybody, welcome to today's video.
So inside our house, we have what's technically called the evaporator, but what everybody is going to call the A coil. And they used to look like this. An A coil or an evaporator, this was kind of a traditional shape for it. It's kind of like two car radiators set with one edge together and then arranged in this shape that makes it look like an A. That's why they call it an A coil. But you will also find them these days that look like an L or that look just like a single vertical radiator. They do come in different shapes and sizes, but this was the typical A coil or evaporator coil that you found inside your house. And the way it would work is we take a refrigerant, which used to be an R22 or something like that, and we'll talk about newer refrigerants later, but we would pump that refrigerant under pressure. So it was either a highly compressed refrigerant or even pressurized to the point where it was a liquid, and we would pump it to this A coil. We would then let it expand through a little tiny orifice, and as it expands, there is what's called the latent heat of evaporation. And as it expands, it absorbs that latent heat. So what it's doing is absorbing the heat from inside your house. That expanding refrigerant going from a liquid to a gas takes heat, takes energy to do that, and it absorbs that heat from all those little copper coils in this A coil. So it's absorbing the heat from inside your house. And as it's doing that, it's expanding and warming up, and it runs through this A coil, and then we pump it back outside to this condenser. And in this condenser, you can't see it here, but there's a big long series of copper loops and aluminum fins here. We run that refrigerant through those loops to help start cooling it down. There's a big fan on the inside of this condenser, which then takes the heat that's being released from that refrigerant and dumps it to the outside. And then there's a compressor inside of this, and it compresses that refrigerant back down to that really dense gas or liquid state, sends it back to this evaporator where it expands, absorbs the heat, back to this condenser where it's condensed or compressed back down and gives up that latent heat of condensation, and we dump it to the air outside.